Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast.
Rays Rewind with Bell, Bushman, and Drew.
Jansen. That is into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Phillips has tied the game. Arose Arena coming around. Throw home. Now he stumbles. But the ball gets away. Tampa Bay wins it. Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero.
The sickest Tampa Bay Rays podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Rays Rewind podcast, the sickest Tampa Bay Rays podcast on the Sick Podcast Network. It is I, the great old Bushman, and joining me as always is Drew. Make sure to go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe and notification bell at the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind. Go to our Instagram page too as well, and give us a follow. We like followers now, so yeah. Welcome back in, everybody. Lots of stuff to go over. It's been a really kind of a busy day in Rays fandom the past couple of days, past couple of 24 hours. Rays announced some new promos and giveaways for the 2026 season. Excuse me. We signed some rotation help as well and announced when Evan Longoria will finally be retired in the Rays lore at Tropicana Field. But we'll get into Rays rotation and infield help. The Rays signed pitcher Nick Martinez yesterday and also brought in some infield help as well. But I want to get into Nick Martinez. Kind of a big spend on a pitcher like this, Drew. $13 million for some rotation help, which I honestly thought would have maybe gone to Zach Littell, but I think he's looking for probably a multi-year deal with him. What do you think about Nick Martinez?
Yeah. Great to see you again, Evan. I like the signing. So yeah, 13 million felt like a lot. You don't see that.
That's a lot.
Over 1 year for Rays fans, right? That's a lot of money for us to see, especially free agent. And he is now the highest paid player on the team.
Giving off of like Zach Littell or Zach Eflin vibes a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So it doesn't it's a little shocking always to see that. It's kind of like, especially when it's somebody that was not on our radar all off season. And it's one thing if it's a homegrown player, a player that's been on the team for several years, but I like it. I mean, they want him to start, right? I mean, he pitched 165 innings last year. He's been a starter. I know that he's kind of bounced around some between bullpen. He's out of the bullpen in San Diego. Was really good. Transitioned to more of a starter with Cincinnati. Not a great year last year, but still, over 2 wins above replacement. Pitched 165, and they want to use him as a full-time starter. I think that's the going rate you're going to see. I think, for a guy like Nick Martinez, it's going to cost you, in the teens. We just saw today Justin Verlander signed for the exact same amount of money, 1 year, 13 million. Now he's obviously got a much more storied career than Nick Martinez, but I would think that I would rather have Nick Martinez over an aging Justin Verlander.
I do too as well. I just think the cost of bringing him in, look, he's not a big strikeout guy. I mean, he doesn't have electric stuff as well, but I mean, if him and Mats are supposed to be in here in the rotation to give it some veteran help to help the younger guys in it too as well, I'm all for it. 13 to me is a little bit steep on that signing too. 13 million for a guy like that was ERA last year was what, a little bit over 3.
ERA was 4.45.
So we've talked about this plenty of times on this show too, is the rotation is still question marks. It's still, can the old can the old guys step up and be the elder statesmen, and can they help out the younger guys? It's still question marks to me going into camp. And then pitchers and catchers report tomorrow, the recording of this show. We're on a Tuesday. But I mean, if anybody can make a guy like that into a superstar pitcher, I mean, the Rays can. They've got the staff to do it. I just think paying $13 million for a pitcher like that to me is kind of overreaching and overpaying a little bit, unless we see something, they see something we don't.
Yeah, I mean it could be. I here's why I like it. If you think the Rays are going to be a team like, hey, they just need to play for the future, right? We've heard they're kind of retooling the minor leagues for 2029 and this stadium that might get built, to be really competing leading into that new stadium. And so you think this year then is, hey, we're playing for the long term. Then yes, Nick Martinez coming in, aging, he's in his mid 30s, down year, 13 million overpay. However, it's the Rays, you said pitching question marks. The staff it really only had two sure things in Drew Rasmussen and Ryan Pepio. We hope Shane McClanahan comes back and is 75% of what we saw from him last time he was pitching. Steven Matz, also another veteran, kind of a more, a swing man, but he's starting. Like that fifth spot was really going to be up to a guy like Ian Seymour or Joe Boyle or some of these guys that they brought in over the course of the offseason on, minor league deals. So I think this definitely raises the floor of the team. And if you think that the Rays, like, yeah, they don't seem like they're going to be in contention this year because, and we've talked about it, the AL East is so tough. They've lost Brandon Lau, Shane Baz, all these other guys, Pete Fairbanks. But this kind of move raises the floor of the pitching staff. It gives you a guy that's going to come in pitch innings, which is what they need. They need an established guy to come in, eat up innings. You would trust that Kyle Snyder, the coaching staff, the analytics department can get some, extra juice out of Nick Martinez, right? And maybe get him back to what he was like in 2024 when he was over a 4-win player. And had an ERA and a FIP in the low threes. And in an environment like Tropicana Field now, especially, a guy that induces a lot of weak fly balls, I think he's going to be in a better position to succeed there than maybe he was previously in Cincinnati, or even like if the Rays are playing in Steinbrenner Field again this year. So you're raising the floor, you're bringing a veteran in. I think you know what you're getting out of him for the most part, and you hope that they can kind of just squeeze out a little bit more. So I don't think, I mean, if they got 13 million to spend, there's just, you'd love for them to go out and get a hitter and get some more power and spend that money elsewhere. There is just not any viable option for that at this point. Marcelo Zuna was out there, but he's a DH only.
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry, JP.
yeah, he would hit some home runs, of course, and that's something the Rays definitely need, but he's right-handed DH. So if he's DHing every day, he's not playing the field for sure. So, where does that put Yandy and Jonathan Aranda day in and day out? You're not going to squeeze one of them out. So
Right.
I just think raising the floor of the pitching staff makes a lot of sense to me.
I like
he's
it.
a great, yeah.
I like it. I don't like it for 13 million, but I like it because now it kind of gives them a little bit of flexibility when it comes to the rotation too, because you can kind of play around with that rotation, especially with guys like Boyle and Seymour kind of being on the outside of those spots. Because I was thinking about it last night after they signed. I was like, okay, this kind of gives Cash a little bit more freedom to be creative with it. You know what I'm saying? Because now a lot of people were projecting Shane to still be number one. I wouldn't put Shane as your number one. I'd put him down as the number 3. And then, if there are days where especially the load management becomes, a lot for him, you could stick in, Boyle or Seymour in one of those spots and let him have an extra week of rest, which, it puts the rotation, even though I keep saying question marks, it does give them the flexibility to be that during the dog days of summer, where obviously when pitchers start to get tired and we see arms get hurt all the time. So it gives them options. It gives them like a little bit of room to breathe, unlike last year, since we had so many injuries in the rotation. So I like it, but I don't like it for 13 million. But I'm glad that they went out and got a guy that can eat up innings. That way we're not relying on the bullpen as we were last year too as well.
I think I'd like it less if this was November, December of the offseason, where it's like, okay, wait, we're tying up 13 million now.
Right.
in a guy like this that's back at the rotation off a down year. I know he was making, I think, 21 million last year. So obviously he's taking it, relatively speaking for him, he's taking a pretty big pay cut because of the results he showed. I just think at this point in the offseason, it's like, I just don't think the money to me really matters. I think at the end of the day, it's going to raise the floor of the rotation. Everything, I was listening to Foul Territory the other day, and Przinski and Eric Kratz, former big leaguers, went on about the personality and the clubhouse guy that Nick Martinez is. Great guy to have around. I think Gavin Lux, I heard on JP show this morning. There were some quotes, maybe in a Topkin article, where Gavin Lux just going on about how he's been Nick Martinez is one of his favorite teammates he's ever had. Just the energy he brings to the clubhouse, into the dugout. Like, these are things we've been asking for, that we've had discussions about just this offseason, about wanting the Rays to get back. So bringing a guy like Nick Martinez, I think, at this point in the offseason, I don't know if you got 13 million to spend. I mean, they could have gotten Zach Littell. Maybe I don't know what it's looking for. I would imagine, based off his recent, performances, he's probably looking for, like you said, a 2-year deal.
Yeah, he's
at
looking for
least.
multi-year. He's looking
And
for like
it's
a
clear-
2-3 year deal. He's
And
looking
it's
for
clear,
that.
and I know there's a mutual option on Nick Martinez, but those never get exercised. So that's basically a way to say, hey, we'll do a mutual option. Some of that, we're deferring some of the money, essentially, because it would just result in paying a buyout. So
Mhm.
I think it's there's no harm in it. Like, it's just going to make the pitching staff better. It's better in presence, like all those positives, clubhouse energy, leadership potentially. Like, I just think there's a lot of positives to it for, I think, what's a pretty low risk move. And then if the Rays are out of it, and Nick Martinez is a guy, again, we've talked about this with a few other, like a Cedric Mullins, these guys are signing 1-year deals. Like, you can flip him. You can flip him in the trade deadline. He's a, proven commodity out of the bullpen when he's pitched out of the bullpen. If he's pitching well as a starter, even better. And I think it's a win-win. So
Okay.
I'm fine with it. I mean, hey,
Look, I'm fine with it too. I just
he's-
said no, I'm not fine with it for 13 million.
yeah.
But hey,
I think for me it's the timing, right?
Yeah.
Like I said,
No, I
if
got
you're
you.
tying that up early on, it's like, what are we doing? But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, hey, I'm okay if I see more $13 million free agent deals, for a year in the future. So that's a good start.
The Rays also made some adding some infielding help by acquiring Ben Williamson from the Seattle Mariners. I think about a week and a half ago, involved in that three-team trade, which the Rays love to be part of 3-team trades. Mariners get Brendan Donovan, which is he was probably one of the top coveted second basemen out there. If Ketel Marte wasn't traded, so Brendan Donovan became number 1, and the Rays get Ben Williamson. A lot of people are like, well, why trade for him? Because Kiermaier is already at third base. Well, it gives Kiermaier a little bit of backup and a little bit of depth when it comes to having a third baseman there. I think there's a lot of upside to Ben Williamson too. I mean, I did a little bit of scouting reports on him as well. He's got pretty good defense. Got a little bit of pop on the bat too as well. So I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't think we gave up anything for that trade either. Really?
Colton Ledbetter.
Ledbetter, yeah.
Which unfortunately he played at my alma mater for, I believe, a season or two. So that's the biggest loss.
Yep.
I'm probably the biggest victim in this trade.
Williamson also gives a lot of depth and utility too, because he could play other positions besides third base. So I like it. So
he only played third for the Mariners, but they had such a hole there. They've had such a hole at third base since Kyle Seager left, that he or retired, that that made sense there. Obviously, he's not going to come in and replace Junior at third. Junior's not going to shift around. Junior's starting at third base. But you're right, like backup. Great to have that. I think the biggest takeaway from this, and when I saw the trade, is that I think this puts Carson Williams firmly on Durham to start the year.
Probably.
I'd be willing to bet that was probably, I mean, we know the Rays love Taylor Walls. He was going to be the starting shortstop, barring Carson Williams coming out in the spring and just dominating and, just doing everything, in his power to win the job. So I think it was likely he was going to start in Durham anyway, but this to me feels
Which
like,
I'm fine with too. If he starts off in
stamping
Durham,
that.
it gives him a little bit more time for development too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
And I mean, he's the future shortstop,
Yep.
but now they've got another utility, glove first guy. I always, I don't mind the glove first guys, especially when they're on the younger side and they're just getting into the league, because you'd like to think the glove doesn't fade, right? Like, you're not, if you're a slick fielder like Taylor Walls is, until he's can't, as quick or whatever and older, like, he's always going to be so valuable in the field, and you just always would hope that the bat comes along, and like, this could be the year, like, hey, if he has a big,
Hey, it
just an
could be the
average,
year.
it could be. And
We're
it's
back at the
so it's
trough.
easy
It could be the
to me,
year.
it's easy to get excited about guys like that, because it's just like, if they can just give you average
Give me 20
production at
home
the
runs
plate,
and bat over
average production,
250.
you get on base, steal some bases, whatever, like, average production plus the plus defense, golden.
Yeah.
So Ben Williamson kind of fits that mold of, like, all right, he just came into the league. Yeah, he's not like hitting the cover off the ball, but he's a proven defender. People, I've read several articles about how he would be a Gold Glove winner if he was playing, regularly. So I'm excited. I just think, for me, the
Plus,
takeaway was Carson
plus,
Williams,
plus,
Durham.
Drew, you could also kind of look at it too as one of those guys where, you could probably flip him in another trade later on in the season.
In a year or two. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how much playing time he gets. Again, I mean, I think maybe the most likely PT for him is going to be against lefties at second.
I'm interested in seeing all these new guys that they brought over when spring training starts, and just to kind of see what they can bring to the team.
Who are you most excited to see out of the new guys?
I'm most excited to see Gavin Lux. I mean, you've got some pretty big shoes to fill, coming over and getting signed, and you're filling in for Brandon Lau. So I'm really interested in seeing him. I know he's, he was once a top prospect, and he's been moved around a couple of times. So I'm interested in seeing him. I think, look, it's one of those boom or bust kind of situations. And again, you're filling some big shoes playing. Now you're going to be the starting second baseman for that infield. So I'm interested in seeing him because of what you're taking over from who you're taking over from. So,
yeah.
What about you?
I'd probably say Cedric Mullins. I've just always I've always thought he's just a really, really good player.
That's a good segue, because our next segment, we're talking about a former center fielder who was brought in to help out.
There you go. Yeah. So I would say Cedric. I mean, I think he could.
It's to me, with a lot of these guys that they brought in, there could be so much upside if they revert back to like the years that they had career years, like Cedric Mullins. If he goes back to where he was a couple of years ago, hitting 30 dingers,
right?
It's a win-win for both sides. So I mean,
maybe he can tell Taylor Walls to stop hitting switch.
Maybe
just hit right-handed where he's way better.
Yeah.
Like because Cedric used to be a switch hitter and then was like, bump this, I'm going to just bat lefty. And that's when he started actually hitting for some production. So, but in all seriousness, yeah, I mean, I think Gavin Lux is right up there. It'll be interesting to see how the lineup comes together. I mean, I think Yandy's probably still going to be in that leadoff role, but
where would you put Mullins and where would you put Lux? I'd put Lux at like 7 or 8.
I think yeah.
Would you put Mullins in the middle? Would you put him at 5?
Probably. You know how they love to do the left right, especially against right-handed pitching. So I think it all just depends on, do you want Chandler at the top of the order or at the bottom, Chandler Simpson? Because then if he's at the bottom, then you're either looking at, I think, Cedric or Lux being the leadoff guy, or I guess Yandy. I think Cedric, I could see Jake Fraley being the fifth guy. So like, let's say it's Gavin Lux or Chandler at the top. Yeah, Yandy, Aranda Jr. And then I think you could go Jake Fraley there, and maybe put Mullins a little bit further down. But I think I like Mullins more at the bottom of the lineup. Kind of give you a little bit more,
a little bit of kind of pop at the end of the.
I'm not familiar though. Does Mullins? That's the other thing though. Is Mullins? You don't want to have those black holes in the lineup where we would, how many times last year or 2 years ago where it's like he gets to 6 through 9 or sometimes 5 through 9, you're like, all these guys strike out so much. I don't remember off the top of my head how often Cedric strikes out, so I don't know, if you want him to kind of perpetuate that issue at the bottom of the lineup. But yeah, I think in the bottom third, I'm fine with that. I think it gives you a good floor, at least a veteran hitter at the bottom of the order,
Okay.
instead of what
Sorry,
we've
so
seen
you
over the
say
last few
Mullins, I
years.
say Lux. Speaking of the outfield, the Tampa Bay Rays brought back Kevin Kiermaier, not only back, but he's a coach. The Tampa Bay Rays brought back Kevin Kiermaier yesterday, who's going to be helping a lot out with our outfielders because that was the one blaring issue last year was our outfield. They're bringing KK back, who is coming back in as an outfield coach, which I think is a great idea because he pretty much brought it all when he was in the outfield. He was just sacrificing his body everywhere when it came to catching balls out there too as well. I think it's a great move. Bringing back a fan favorite too as well to be back, not only back at the Trop, but back on the team. Great clubhouse guy too as well. I think he's going to give a lot of wisdom and a lot of coaching skills to the outfield too as well because we got, other than Mullins, we've got a young outfield too as well. So I think the signing of him as a coach is a great idea. Looks like they're bringing back a lot of fan favorites. Brett Phillips teased yesterday that he's got some exciting news. He's supposed to be coming back as an ambassador, possibly for the Rays.
Well, he's officially. I mean, he is in a role with the front office.
Yes.
So I think that's like official.
Okay.
So he's with the team.
He teased something yesterday on Twitter saying he's got some exciting news. So whatever that means.
I don't know. Yeah. They love the tease. Yeah, KK coming back is awesome. I mean, it feels like one of those where you just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as he left and you could have seen him potentially being a Ray for life. It didn't work out, obviously, the injury history, and I think the Rays were just willing
he
at
was
that point
making a lot of money
move on.
too.
Yeah, they were. I would argue that he should never have been able to leave. They should have found a way to keep him. But
yeah,
he went out, got his ring, and then when you hear that he's coaching or wants to help teams out, you're like, oh, that he loves Tampa. Like he lives in Tampa.
Yeah.
He is a Ray, like Tampa Bay Ray. Like,
well, also too, I think it shows
sense.
you. I think it shows you the level of how the organization is by people wanting to come back and help out.
Well,
and also, too, not being here is maybe a good thing too, where people want.
It didn't happen last year. I mean, he was doing this last year. He did it for the Blue Jays, in a kind of a part-time role. And I mean, I believe I remember reading he talked with Blue Jays and the Rays, and I think maybe one other team. And obviously he went with the Blue Jays last year for a period of time, and so it didn't happen last year. So I don't know what's changed. But I love
what's happened.
Yeah, we can speculate for sure. I love the
ship has made things fun again.
Yeah, I love it. It just makes so much sense. Like, you mentioned Chandler, and Ryan Bass mentioned specifically in his call out, like he's going to help Chandler out, which is great. Chandler needs the help, and I mean, let's be like, he's never played in the Trop. I mean, maybe like a spring training game or something in previous years, but he wasn't. They didn't play in the Trop last year, so that's
it's quite an adjustment with those O-rings and the lights and everything. It's quite an adjustment.
Jacob Melton too, like you think about him coming up, like he's going to be needing. I looked. Jake Fraley's played 7 games at the Trop. I would imagine he's probably going to need a little advice. Cedric Mullins, maybe not so much. He's kind of a pro.
He's seen some time at the Trop.
Yeah, so yeah, it just makes so much sense, and it's just great to have like guys that mean a lot to the organization, that gave a lot to the organization, being able to come back and and give back essentially to this team. And it's you kind of hope to see something like this with Evan Longoria down the road, maybe. And you see Brett Phillips coming back. Obviously, he wasn't here as long as Kevin Kiermaier, but I think he was a huge impact, and a fan favorite, and loved. It just. I think guys like Kevin Kiermaier and Brett Phillips, like you could tell that they cared. It was more about than just playing on the team. It was they loved the community. They cared about the Rays all around, right?
To make things fun again.
Yeah, and there's new ownership to make things fun again. That's I couldn't have said it better myself. So I love it. Yeah, it's great, and I know that apparently Kevin Kiermaier is going to be. He said he would work with as many teams as possible, but he's going to be I think primarily focused on the Rays, and
Yeah, I think he's
hopefully
gonna
it's
be.
a
I think he
good
said he's gonna be here
experience.
for the whole year. So
I mean, he lives here, so it's
yeah,
just like,
it's a
he
no-brainer.
lives in Tampa, so
Yeah.
why not? Why not? So, yeah, good for them and good for KK, and I think he's actually got, like, a business. He's like, goes on they report it's, like, called the 3-9 effect,
Okay.
so
I hope
shout
it's not
out.
a hitting. I just hope it's not a hitting. Like
No, I think it's primarily fielding, although
okay, good. Okay, all right.
depends on who he's teaching
I'm
hitting.
just kidding, KK. Don't worry, man. I'm
He's
just kidding.
hey,
Just kidding.
hey, he always came up clutch in the playoffs,
I
so,
know. All right. Well, speaking
um
of other Rays, it was announced yesterday that Evan Longoria will get his retirement weekend in July. So mark it on your books. July 11th and 12th. We'll be celebrating the career of Evan Longoria as a Tampa Bay Ray. He'll be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And then on the 11th and on the 12th, they will be retiring his number 3 at the Trop. So mark it on your calendars and also get tickets for that weekend too before they sell out as well. Think this is a good thing. I know they tried to do it last year, Steinbrenner. It was kind of an awkward. A lot of fans were just like, "Why are we doing this here? Wait another year until the Trop gets built back." I'm finally glad that they're actually kind of doing an actual retirement weekend for him. The fanfare is going to be great, and like you said before, he could probably come back as a third base coach.
maybe.
Welcome
Maybe.
in. Welcome in. He
Maybe.
loves it here too in Tampa. So, yeah. So mark it on your calendars. July 12th or July 11th and 12th for his weekend too as well for Evan Longoria.
You gonna go?
I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm gonna try and go. I mean, I posted on Instagram that because they had like a little promo video for the retirement weekend, and I think I posted on there. I'm gonna cry. We're all gonna cry like little babies, but like happy tears because
Yeah.
there's so many moments that he has given the team. It's well deserved. He's a bald guy now too, man. He's got the shaved head and everything.
Yeah.
He had a luscious head of hair, and then
He's
just
embraced. Yeah, he's
I know.
embraced it.
Something I need to do. So something I need to do soon.
I will not be there, unfortunately, but I'm sure they'll be having the festivities on the broadcast, so I'll be definitely watching. I think it's great. I mean, yeah, last year's ceremony was a little awkward because it was at Steinbrenner.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided.
And I think that's why they obviously they didn't do a Hall of Fame, Rays Hall of Fame stuff last year. And I think they knew that, it would be weird to do something like that at Steinbrenner. So,
Yep.
it's great to see him being honored at the stadium where he provided countless moments for Rays fans, and to see his number retired. And I know that like the Rays have other numbers retired, right? They have Jackie Robinson, of course.
Wade Boggs.
Everybody. Yeah, Wade Boggs, and then Don Zimmer, I think,
Yep.
are the only three. But
Don't know why they haven't retired Jose Canseco yet. Just don't know why.
Yeah. But like, so Wade Boggs, I know he played. I was 7 or 8 when he was on the team. So I don't remember him playing much, to be honest with you. But he played for what, like a season or two?
Yeah, he got his 3,000th hit at the Trop. It was a home run, so that's a pretty special moment there. So yeah, I mean that was the era of when the Rays were trying to get
just anybody.
Yeah, anybody to be on the team, and they would bring in Fred McGriff and Jose Canseco and Wade Boggs just to have the. It was almost like it was a precursor to the whole Johnny Damon, Manny Ramirez thing that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, I just this Pat Burrell. This is
Matsui.
In my mind, this is just this is the first Rays, like real Rays,
like homegrown, like retired,
like homegrown,
yeah,
like did it. And I know, say what you want about him not being on the team after was that 2017, and yeah, I agree. He should never have gone to another team. There's like that's the part of like
he shouldn't have been traded at all.
That's the economics of the Rays. That's a part of it that I really get frustrated with. And so yes, it didn't work out that way like everyone hoped, but at the end of the day, like he's very much the best player we've ever seen for the Rays.
Yep.
He's our best player. And I think it's so awesome to finally see a number retired of a guy that, gave most of, certainly all of his best years, but most of his career to this team. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. And so it'll be cool. I mean, he was like the first guy I really latched onto here. when I kind of became a really big fan back in. I mean, I guess it was '08. I transitioned out of being a Braves fan as they got off of TBS, and then that coincided with the Rays coming on, a lot more often for me. And yeah, he was that first guy for me. So it's neat to see it come full circle.
It's going to be special. All right,
For
before
sure.
we close it out, Fan Fest is this coming weekend outside of Tropicana Field. I will be in attendance there. It'll be kind of fun just to kind of go back and be outside of the Trop, which is not done
You're gonna get?
just
Are
yet.
you gonna get me something? You gonna buy me something?
Whatever you want, man. Just text me.
It's my birthday Sunday, so I
Oh, really?
don't.
Well, happy
I
birthday.
mean, well, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you see anything,
Listen, this
just,
is the time
let me
to
know.
get some stuff because this is
I
when they bring out all of the
I
clearance
need to.
stuff.
I know I need to get
Mark
some
it down
hats,
for
but
like,
they're like $40 on the website. It's like a
well,
$40 hat.
so usually for Fan Fest, I
Jeez.
mean, you've been there before. This is where they bring out all like the old stuff
Yeah,
discounted for like 40-50% off, and then you could like buy some clearance stuff. So I
yeah.
mean, whatever you want, man, just let me know.
Just snap a couple photos. Let me know what they got. I'll let
Okay.
you know. I'll Venmo you or PayPal you, whatever.
Okay.
And we'll get taken care of. But yeah,
Take the wife
FanFest.
and kids on Valentine's Day to go there, and
Nice.
then hanging out
It's a
afterwards.
it's a block. It's not in Tropicana, right? It's a block
No, it's
party
outside of Tropicana Field as a block party. So
All
I
right.
think it's going to be in lot 1. I think they're going to have it. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. I mean,
That'll be fun.
last year at the pier it was all
Cool.
right. It was okay. I mean, it was hot out, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, the
Yeah.
Rays did announce this season's promos. We've got promo schedule for 2026, starting off with the schedule magnet, which will be on the 6th, which I found out that I will be attending opening day, by the way. I will be there.
Nice.
I don't have to fly out to Dallas until the 7th, so I was cheering for joy. So now I'm going to try and find some tickets that are left, which are probably expensive ones, but I'll try and go anyways. We've got some notable ones. We've got the Junior Caminero City Connect bobblehead, the jersey jackets, and the Devil Rays hockey jacket, or some of the highlights. I'm going to put this photo up too. This is pretty. Did you see the pictures yesterday?
Yeah, I did. I've never been
Did you
more
see that
disappointed.
jacket? Do you see the
I
hockey
know.
jersey? That is
I know. It's
awesome.
sweet. I've never been more disappointed to be missing promotions before. I'm not sure there's one I hate, or
No, I
there's
think
one I would.
this
All of them
whole
look great,
out of this, I think this is the best promo giveaway schedule they've had.
and this doesn't even
Once
have.
again, I wonder what happened.
New ownership.
New ownership.
I personally love the light up Tropicana Field.
Which they haven't done in a long time.
Yeah, like I think that one's sweet. That it lights up.
Yeah.
Chandler's. Yeah, they got
I like
they
the
got
Tropicana Field shirt too, which is cool.
the shirt with kind of the creamsicle Bucks colors.
Yeah, digging it.
Chandler Simpson. Like I don't know, man. I think all these look really, really good.
There's also I think a Devil Rays windbreaker jacket too they're giving away, which is
yeah,
pretty dope.
and there's like a sweet looking hat too.
Yeah.
So I'm very disappointed.
Sorry.
Well, yeah, and I was bummed they didn't line up. We'll be back in the area in
Yeah, they've got the
June,
Devil Rays
maybe.
snapback, retro snapback.
Yeah, but none of the promos lined up with maybe when I'd be able to sneak off to a game. So I'll have to live vicariously through you and all the promotions.
I'll tell you what,
you're
man.
able to snag.
I could probably snag an extra one.
Sometimes especially if it's a bobblehead, the amount of people that like
They even got the gap in Longoria's
scour-
tooth for the bobblehead too, as well.
Have you seen the fans? And maybe you've done this, so I don't want to judge you, but like it would be like Yankees and Red Sox fans, especially when I've noticed they like will scour the rows after the game to see if people left their bobbleheads to get extras so they can sell it online.
That's not
Because
a
half
bad
the time
idea, to be
because
honest
to half
with
the
you.
time you'll get the bobbleheads, you get them for free at the game, you sell them for like $20, $30, especially if it's a big one, you can get pretty good money for them. So
Dude, I'm still stoked about this hockey jersey. It looks dope. This hockey jersey is probably my favorite one, is that one.
Yeah, I actually very much. I'm not like a hockey jersey guy, but that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Again, right there, Devil Ray logo. That's what they need to go like that. needs to be the primary logo.
Well, they're bringing back the City
talking
Connects are
about
coming
this.
back. No, the City Connects are coming back. Like the
I
old school
know.
Devil Rays coming back for Friday night games. That's coming back with that logo for Friday nights.
Good, as they should. I'm saying new branding, new stadium.
Oh, with
They
that,
need to get away from the sunburst and the TB all the time.
So
or
kind of
just-
like what
or
this
just
hat,
the Rays,
kind of like what this hat has right here.
yeah, like
this would be a good logo.
I love just getting the Ray in there somewhere. I think, and that one especially, the Devil Ray logo is.
I think if you do it like
top-notch,
this, branding would be kind of cool. Like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like that.
I mean, new ownership.
New ownership means things are fun again. So yeah. All right, everybody. That's gonna be it for us at the Rays Rewind podcast. We are the Sickest Tampa Bay Rays podcast on the Sick Podcast Network. Make sure you go to our YouTube page at the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind. Go to our Instagram page too at Rays Rewind Podcast. Hit the follow button too as well. We will see you next time. We've got some juicy guests that are lined up that we're not.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
We've got some other stuff too that's coming up that you guys need to pay attention to as well. So make sure to subscribe and follow us when those things drop as well. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next time for myself and Drew on the Rays Rewind podcast. See ya.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind with Bushman and Drew on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.